I'm hiding out in Texas. Please, whatever you do, don't tell them I'm in San Antonio.
I'm in the game still rapping at a high capacity. If Nas wants to smoke, come in the booth. I will rap circles around.
Smoke. He enjoying that 150 million, 200 million. He done
Okay
made.
then, so then leave me alone while I'm on the field.
You was effing with him. He wasn't bothering you.
You know who Nas is. If he's 22, he's born in 03.
Not all of them. Some of them.
Jones was never better than Nas. Jim Jones will never be better than Nas. And this is coming from somebody that's not a Nas fan. I love Dipset. I love the Diplomats. I love Bird Gang. But we not about to start rewriting history because Jim Jones got caught.
Welcome back to your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Let's spill the tea on today's hottest drama. Jim Jones stepped onto Shannon Sharpe's podcast and dropped a bomb, claiming he's not just more relevant than Nas, but flat out more influential to the culture.
Don't tell him I'm staying at the Four Seasons. Don't tell him, please don't tell him, man, because there's just so much pressure on me right now. I don't know what to do.
That one line flipped the energy in the room, and while some folks expected instant drama, 50 Cent didn't even flinch. No tweets, no names, just a cold, calculated post, an old federal transcript casually tossed on Instagram like a warning shot. Now the streets are buzzing.
Did I ever got to see Nas? I never got to sit down and have a conversation with Nas and things like that. I had called you about it and things like that. That was like still one of the people that I never got to have a conversation throughout my history of rap and things like that. I think I would love to have a conversation with Nas. I wouldn't know if he knows it, but Nas was one of my all-time favorite rappers coming up and things like that.
I've heard you say that.
Since the barbecue and things like that. Like he really put the whole dope boy rap, crack hustler, get fresh rap into perspective before any.
Fans are pulling up wiretaps, old interviews, and clips from the archives. Suddenly, Jim's in the gym, barking out bars, lacing up for lyrical war, like he's ready to defend his name from a jail cell if it comes to that. But let's keep it real. This mess ain't just about Nas anymore, and it definitely ain't just about who's got more hits. This feels like 50, reminding everyone why he moves different, why his name rings out, but his record stays clean.
Recently saw a clip on Instagram where a young kid was comparing you to Nas and saying that you got
that's my young boy.
big hits.
He's wild.
He looked to you. He learned how to wear the BB Simon belt from you. He got his swag. Like, how crazy is that? Because in my era, you know what I'm saying? Nas is like a god.
In my era,
Why certain folks caught cases and others, they walked away untouched. Jim might have thought he was just making a bold statement, but instead, he may have kicked up something way bigger than rap battles. And that Nas name drop? Oh, that's never casual. That tension runs deep. This wasn't no offhand jab at an old head. This drama traces all the way back to 2002, when Nas got on Hot 97 and randomly flamed. Right after that wild take, Jim Jones popped up again, this time on Shannon Sharpe's Nightcap with Chad Ochocinco Johnson. If fans thought he might walk it back, nope. Jim showed up ready to triple down. What started as an explanation turned into a straight-up flame session. Shannon wasn't letting anything slide either. He kicked off the convo with some tension in the air. But what Jim said next...
But remember, Nas' first record, The Barbecue, came out when I was in 11th grade.
Yes.
So Nas was my idol when I was young. Like you did, came to dressing, the wordplay, the music, everything. I was a superior Nas fan, period. I'd never take that away from him. But then as I got in the game, you got to realize that your rivals would be idols, and not to take anything away from that. I developed my own style and my own lane that these kids start to gravitate towards the same way I gravitated towards Nas when I was younger and things like that. It's a whole different generation.
Had fans pausing the episode and rewinding it. It was bold, real bold. Just when everyone thought he was done comparing himself to Nas, Jim went even deeper. He started pulling up receipts from the early 2000s, bringing back the old Dipset versus Nas feud. Then he claimed he was always a big Nas fan. But that now, he's the one who made the bigger impact. He tried to soften it by giving Nas props for his fashion game, calling him one of the flyest ever. But every compliment came with a pivot. Nas ain't got that street pull like me. That was the point he kept hammering over and over. Meanwhile, Shannon wasn't feeling it. And Jim, he got real salty. He even started clowning Shannon's outfit mid-interview. At that point, Ochochinco was just sitting back, letting the two of them go at it. Then it got really heated. Jim claimed Shannon only brought him on the show to chase clout and run up views, and that's when Shannon snapped back, "This the biggest podcast you ever been on." Boom. Just like that. It turned from debate to full-on roast session. Then Shannon flipped the whole vibe. 1 minute, he was just the podcast host. Next thing you know, he's squaring up like it's personal. If Jim wanted smoke, Shannon was ready to take it from the mic to the mat. When Jim boldly claimed he was better than Nas,
and started going crazy that these kids love me. They don't really know who Nas is. If he's 22, he's born in 03.
Not all of them, some of them though.
You know what I mean?
A lot of them though.
Shannon didn't just question his music, he came for everything. Mind, mouth, and muscles. Instead of clapping back at 50 Cent, who quietly set this whole drama in motion, Jim tried to shift the spotlight. He turned the convo into a gym challenge, trying to flex his way into proving relevance. "Let's hit the weights," he said, hoping a workout war could somehow show dominance in this new space. But while Jim was still sweating over dumbbells and deadlifts, 50 had already moved in silence. That old Individual One label, still hanging heavy in the background, wasn't forgotten. It was chess, not checkers, and 50 made his move quietly. Meanwhile, the comment section was on fire. Fans couldn't believe that it took a retired NFL Hall of Famer to finally stand up for Nas. One comment had people hollering, "Shannon did what Fat Joe and Jadakiss should have done. Jones, you delusional. Shannon, thank you for saying it." And they weren't wrong. Why were Joe and Jada so quiet during that first podcast? Back in the shadows, 50 was watching the whole circus unfold. No jokes, no memes.
Yo, honestly, I can't, like, if it was like Jim Jones, imagine putting a pen to paper to write about him. He was so nice. He was so nice about him. How did you do that? What's the first sentence? What the fuck do you write about him? I'm not anxious to hear the Jim Jones diss right now. Like, I'm like, yo. The used to have so nervous was like B.I.G., Pop, right? Even Cannabis, like Eminem, used to have you like, if we go at it, dog, we gotta go hard. You know what I'm saying? But these Jim Jones, like, I mean, I respect you getting your money. You're like, exactly, right?
Just silence. But right when folks thought this was just messy fun, it got petty, because that's when fans pulled out the real dagger. An old clip that proved the ultimate disrespect. Back in the day, Nas didn't even acknowledge Jim. Not a word, not a diss, just silence. Like he wasn't even worth the reply. Back in the day, Jim got laughed right off the stage, and here in 2025, that same energy is spinning right back around. But this saga didn't stop with Nas staying silent or Shannon bulking up on camera. Behind the scenes, somebody else had their eyes on the chaos, and it was 50 Cent, locked in like a hawk. The second 50 caught wind of Jim claiming to be better than Nas, he didn't blink, he didn't tweet, he laughed. Then, straight from the bottomless pit of his petty vault, he pulled out receipts, and not just any receipts. He lit the match on one of the most controversial names in hip-hop gossip, Individual One. One post, one caption. That's all it took to send the internet into a frenzy, because if you know, you know. Individual One isn't just some mysterious nickname. It's a label pulled straight from a federal courtroom. That name came up back in 2018, during the infamous Tekashi 6ix99ine 9-tray blood trial. During the case, prosecutors played a wiretapped phone call, and though no names were confirmed in court, they claimed the voice giving instructions to violate Tekashi belonged to someone referred to only as Individual One. The streets immediately believed that was Jim Jones. Now, to be clear, Jim was never officially charged. His voice was never confirmed in court. But that didn't stop the whispers. Blogs ran wild with it, and 50, he never let it go. So when Jim started flexing on podcasts, trying to bait Nas into a lyrical clash, 50 saw his moment. He dove into his Instagram archive and reposted a meme he once deleted, the one that had folks howling. The caption? "So that's why they ain't pull him in." Fans were floored. Comments lit up. One said, "Say it ain't so, Jimmy," but it didn't stop there. People went digging again. Back to 2019, when the Shade Room posted updates from Tekashi's trial. A verified court reporter claimed Tekashi named Jim as a 9-tray member under oath. And right when things couldn't get wilder, that old clip resurfaced. the one of 50 with that blank, stunned face, like even he couldn't believe what he was reading. 50 didn't hold back. He literally wrote, "I'm afraid for my life. Jimmy is gang gang." The internet was cracking up, but Jimmy, he was twitching, and not from laughing. But this is where things really take a twist, because this whole mess with Nas, that wasn't even 50's real target. 50 Cent's been sitting on issues with Jim Jones for years. This Nas moment just handed him the perfect excuse to drag Jim's name through the dirt all over again. This wasn't new beef. It was recycled heat with fresh seasoning. Flashback to 2007, right in the middle of Dipset's internal drama, when the crew was already falling apart behind the scenes. That's when 50 pulled a savage move. He brought Jim Jones and Juelz Santana out on stage at a G-Unit concert. That wasn't just a flex, it was a straight-up shot. Cameron took it as pure disrespect, and fans saw the cracks in Dipset split even wider. Fast forward to 2019, during the federal trial of Tekashi 6999. That's when Jim got labeled Individual 1 in a wiretapped phone call played in open court. Again, no charges were filed, and Jim's voice was never confirmed. But that Individual 1 name stuck like glue, and online rumors exploded with snitch talk. Jim saw all of 50's slick posts, every last one, and at first, he played it cool. He posted a throwback photo from the Bird Gang days, dripping in Dipset nostalgia. The caption, "Why you keep lying LOL? I'm going back to sleep. Free Mel Matrix till it's reversed." That Free Mel Matrix shout was heavy, aimed at his longtime homie doing over 11 years on racketeering. But underneath it, the message was clear. Jim was saying 50's whole narrative was fake, built on rumors, living in fiction. And just when folks thought he was done, Jim dropped one more flex from the gym, this time with a caption that added even more fuel to the fire. Jim wasn't letting it go. He jumped on social media and threw another shot straight at Shannon Sharpe. "Somebody tell Shannon Sharpe, don't start ducking now. You talking like a podcaster, or you gon' walk what you talk? My sneakers tied, you challenged me in front of the whole world. Might as well finish the job, champ." Then he dragged Ochochinco into it. Ocho said he don't want to do it in public. Tell him we can do it in private. I know Shannon's rep as an athlete on the line. Just make sure you witness it. We don't duck challenges. Size don't matter where I'm from, run it. While 50 Cent was out here trolling from the digital shadows, Jim was suiting up like it was go time. But that wasn't even the loudest part. The next post was the real mic drop. Jim came for the older heads hard. "If you 40 and up arguing with me about Nas, you already lost." Then he threw more fuel on it. "Y'all fell for the bait. My streams go up every time Mel goes viral. I'm teaching you older artists a free lesson in marketing. Y'all still stuck in yesterday? Mad at how the game works today? Tighten up." And the caption? "Ruthless. I said what I said. P.S. I'll wrap circles around any artist from my era. Whoever dares step in the booth, bring some money with you, cause this game ain't free. We outside, in the field. Take that how you want. We working every day." But through all of this chaos, Nas, he stayed completely silent. Not a single post, not a single word. And that silence, it made everything louder. Jim kept throwing bait, kept flexing, kept claiming he was more influential than Nas. But if Nas ever did respond, fans say it wouldn't be just a diss, it'd be a straight-up lyrical execution. And now, even Jim's own followers are starting to call him out. Right now, Jim's still baiting, still poking the bear, still running his mouth like he's daring someone to respond. Nas, still silent, calm, focused, and dangerous. Meanwhile, 50 Cent is lurking in the background like a puppet master, pulling strings without ever stepping into the spotlight. And here's where it gets real spooky. If that unreleased wiretap actually exists, Jim might have just talked himself into something way bigger than rap. While he's busy rapping, flexing, and throwing gym challenges, 50's been quiet, too quiet. And history shows, when 50 goes silent, that's when the bomb always drops. So now the whole industry's asking the same question. Is Nas gonna step in and shut this down with a brutal set of bars? Or is 50 gonna wait, let Jim keep talking, then let the streets handle it and leak the real truth? When it's already way too late to run? Either way, something's coming, and it won't be pretty. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest tea. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.